First and foremost, I would like to precede this by stating I am not glorifying a glow up by a character or an actress as a character in this video. I know some people have said some stuff about not glorifying the glow up of Emma Nelson because of Mary McDonald's struggles with eating disorder. Eating disorders are nothing to make fun of or to put in a negative light because it puts that person in a terrible light and should not be glorified at all. That this is not glorifying it. This is basically talking about the character and not about the personal struggles of Mary McDonald. I just wanted to precede this to know that in no way and form am I trying to make this bad. Anyway, hey there, hello, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to yet another Cutter Degrassism. And today we're going to be taking a look at a Degrassism I have, or kind of a Cutter Degrassi unpopular opinion. And it has to do with Emma in seasons 4 onwards. Saying that Emma's glow up at the start of season 4 may have been terrible for her because it nearly got her. Those sounds are purposeful. Nevertheless, so anyhow, here's the post, and I did this only 4 days ago, which was unusual. But this post was created 4 days ago on March. Well, today is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I could not do like a Irish Degrassi thing with Bobby. I know there was an Irish guy by the name Patrick in season 2 of Degrassi High that was attracted to Spike, but that's not it. But anyway, I said. The post says, I don't know why, but I feel like Emma's glow up ruined her character and nearly cost her dearly. Here's what I said. Season 4, Emma looks sharper. Her braces are off, she looks more beautiful, and then we find out that she and Chris are broken up. The main question is why. And I said, people have different opinions, but I say that Chris got tired of Emma's bullshit, or even that she thought with her glow up she could attract a guy better than Chris and went for it. Of course, the glow up may be why Emma said to Manny that she didn't want Chris. She just didn't want Liberty and Chris together because it would affect her. And I'm like, in what way? And rightfully, she got ostracized by Manny and Liberty for that. My theory is that Emma was hoping some guy would be attracted to her, but failed, and she didn't want to go back to Chris. Of course, this leads her trying to get into Paige's clique for acceptance, quote unquote, and gets into the crusade to push Rick out of Degrassi and not allow him to cross path before Radish tells Emma to stay out of this because this isn't a stupid crusade of hers. And of course, I put in brackets, not the last time Radish would regret his words/choices. She's fine with this clique until she realizes that they just want to bully Rick and not do it in the name of the Orange Ribbon campaign. So she stops it, loses Paige's clique, and attracting Rick, despite Emma telling him that it was the right thing to do. Time Sand still happens, and Emma nearly dies by Rick's gun. Fortunately, Sean saves her, and Emma actually fawns over Sean because he saved her from a gun. Sean leaves for Wasaga, Emma goes for Jay in her foggy face, and of course gets a social disease, and then has no relationship stuff till Peter. Oh boy, Peter, as I said. Emma felt like she was above her own station, and despite what Peter did to Manny, she still wanted to be with him. Many explanations may come up, but she wanted to be like everybody else. Have a boy, maybe for protection after what Rick nearly did to her. And yeah, Emma was manipulated by Peter, but she chose to keep pursuing Peter instead of waiting for some other guy, and it really cost her everything. Manny was a better friend to Emma, we all know that. In short, if Emma didn't have that glow up, maybe she's still annoying and judgmental, but at least she would have had better common sense. There were some people to comment on it, practically saying that, Emma's annoying and all that. She was downhill from glow up on. And Furry Flame actually said, it may have played some part, but her different life traumas and the natural changing growing part of friendships were factoring at some point too. And I said, true. And all that. And of course, everyone says, they cannot make me like Peter because of what he did to Manny Darcy, especially with Emma. One person said that, they nearly killed her spirit as a character. After the whole Peter thing, I didn't give a shit about her. At this point, she stopped being a decent person. She stopped doing things to help others. All she cared about was boys and destroying anything that became between her and boys. And then I said, that's what I always say. the Emma in seasons 1 to 3 would never go after Peter after what he did to Manny. And of course, they said about Marion's physical appearance had nothing to do with how Emma was written. It was just the writers of the show. And then, of course, they were talking about the whole glow up stuff, which I can understand was kind of a bad idea. So, a lot of things were wrong with Emma after season 4. The shooting changed her character. She stopped doing a lot of crusades. She basically was just in her own head at times. Maybe she stops doing crusades because she realizes she could almost have died from that. But you also have to realize that there were a lot of things. Emma, what was the situation with Emma? Like after the shooting, she didn't really have a friend group. Manny and Liberty left her high and dry because of what Emma was trying to do to prevent Chris and Liberty from being a couple. And, Emma deserved to get the chastising. She deserved to get the freeze. And then, of course, Emma, after she gets into Paige's clique, basically tells Manny and Liberty to enjoy their hot tub. I'm going with Paige's clique. Probably trying to tell them that you dare get rid of me? I don't need you. Spoiler alert, she does. And then, practically, she gets with Paige's group, does the Orange Ribbon campaign. It's successful, but then everyone uses the Orange Ribbon campaign as its guise to try to get Rick out of Degrassi without breaking any rules, which, spoiler alert, doesn't work. And then Emma realizes everything, and they're not taking the cause seriously. And the cause girl part of Emma still was there, and she protects Rick. She thinks she does the right thing. Paige's clique bumps her off. And basically, Emma is now drawn to the Whack Your Brain / quiz team of Rick, Toby, and Heather. 2 guys who were creepy towards her. And don't get me started about Toby. Yes, the first few seasons before Kendra, Toby wanted Emma. And Heather Sinclair, the famous unseen character. It shows a lot when Heather has to hang out with Emma. But the fact of the matter for Emma is that, it's just weird and all that. But Emma, was in a creepy situation. Of course, Jimmy replaces Heather. They put up the whole screen of the social kissing deceased to put her out and put Jimmy in the situation with Rick. Emma thinks she's helping Rick out, but Rick is creepy towards her, holds her hand during the quiz competition, whispers, "This is for you," for the quiz thing, wins, and all of a sudden, it's just terrible. So anyway, that's just what happens. And then we all know about Rick going towards Emma and all that. He wasn't going to go after Emma with the gun. It was going to be Paige, but Paige calms him down and makes him realize that he's making a mistake. And then Spinner and Jay basically tell Rick everything, like push Rick to go after Jimmy and all that. And of course, Rick shoots Jimmy and then nearly shoots Emma. Fortunately for Emma, she survives thanks to Sean. Sean's a hero in a sense, and Emma wants to stay with Sean and all that. But let's talk about the glow up. Like Emma in the first 3 seasons, she was okay. She wasn't pretty. She wasn't completely ugly duckly. Although one actress who almost got the role of Emma before Marion McDonald actually said that they wanted an ugly duckling type of actress to make her a beautiful swan. And yeah, she had an impactful glow up, Emma did. But the fact of the matter is that the glow up was actually in a bad spot for Emma. Because here's the thing, Emma, in essence, basically thought she was above her own station. I would not have put it past her to basically say, you know what, I'm attractive. Guys will find me attractive. I don't need Chris at all. We'll break up and then, some guy will chase me and I'll be happy. Problem was, probably nobody in the summer wanted to be near Emma, and Emma did not want to have to, what's that say? Go to Chris with her tail between her legs. Yeah, don't say that. But anywho, Emma deserved better, but Emma didn't want to go back to Chris, didn't want to go crying back to Chris, so she prevents Liberty and Chris from going together and tells Manny, saying that, what does that say about me? What does it say about Emma? It doesn't say anything about Emma. They hate Emma for many reasons, but this is not it. Emma basically screwed herself over and she got bit for it, rightfully so. I'm not defending Emma at all on this part. But it was weird how Emma, thinking she was above her own station with her glow up, lost Manny and Liberty as friends, got into Paige's clique, trying to connect with them, and then got bounced because she was protecting Rick. And then, basically she was in the crosshairs of Rick, who thinks that Emma's pretty and all that. Emma does tell Rick that she only did it because it was the right thing to do the first time, remember, before she blows him off saying, I pitied you, get a clue. But the fact is that, it really cost her. I mean, Rick wanted to go after her after he shot Jimmy and all that. Sean saves the day with the gun and all that, and Emma kind of feels awkward and all that. It's kind of strange because, Emma's social life kind of is like zilch, except for the drama club. After the shooting and all that, she had the problems. She internalized everything. Everyone figured that Emma would always bounce back, but she didn't, and she didn't know how to handle it. So that's the problem. So that's the big problem. And of course, it led to her going towards Jay and getting the social disease, gonorrhea, whatever you call it. And, that was problematic. Emma, for my thing, basically was a decent character. But in the end, that, she got bit. The glow up ruined her. And the glow up really ruined her in the whole Peter situation in season 5. I actually watched Snoopykin's episode video about the season 5 premiere and how Manny was mistreated by the casting agent, how Emma was kind of a prick, how Peter was a gigantic prick and all that. So anyway, it's just like weird and all that. But yeah, I feel so bad for everyone involved because yeah, she thought she was above her own station. She wanted to be with Peter. She was like, nothing's going to prevent me from being with Peter. Nothing. And basically she was above her own station and all that. But the fact of the matter is that, well, Peter was a great guy. In her mind, she needed to move on from Sean. Sean abandoned her in her mind. But Sean abandoned her for Wasaga Beach. She wanted to be with him. After all, he saved her from a gun. If Toby had done that, she probably would have went after Toby. They probably would have botched this thing with the writers. But the fact of the matter is that, yeah, she wanted to be with Peter. She was mad when Manny hooked up with Peter, even though that Peter tricked Manny. Manny was drinking and all that. Emma said nothing was going to come between her and Peter. Nothing. She wanted a guy. She wanted the protection and all that. And, she swore off Peter. But a few episodes later, she gets wooed by him. He basically wooed her because Emma would like to be wooed by a guy. I mean, how many guys actually were attracted to her instead of the other way around? You had Toby being creepy, Rick being creepy. Chris, I don't think approached her. I think she approached him, I think. And after Peter, it's like she had to chase down guys. She had to chase down Sean, but Sean was post PTSD. Sean, I think pre PTSD would never come back with Emma. He would have went back with Ellie. Ugh. But yeah, like Emma was gone. Yeah, that one commenter had it right, saying that Emma just wanted to be with a guy and didn't care what happened. They basically ruined her character and made her a one-dimensional character. I mean, yeah, they kind of character assassinated her in the whole season in the college years, but that wasn't completely true. But yeah, Emma was just being Emma, and she didn't care what you thought of her. Unfortunately, though, she tried so hard to fit in, it ruined her character, put her from one extreme to the other. End of story. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.